Let's talk about some quick, easy ratchet straps. So I've been on a quest to find some that retract. Then that way you don't have, well, a mess like this. So I've got three different styles here. These two work pretty similar. I'd almost say identically. And then you got an outlier that works kind of more like the old school one. So this one I got from E-Trailer. This one came from U-Haul. This one came from U-Line. And then this is my Max Custom Tie Downs, which when it comes to which one I put my most faith in, it's definitely the Max. But which one's the slowest? That is also the Max Custom Tie Down. So let's get into how these things work. So since these two are similar, I'll just scoot them kind of together. This one is the easiest one out of all of them, but I'm a big fan of having the keeper on my hook, you know, the clip, and this one isn't offered with them. So I'm not going to say it's a non-starter for me, but it's not my favorite. But it's quick to deploy, and then when you get it hooked onto whatever you're hooking onto, you just push the red button and it's going to pull the slack out. So if we just say I threw it across something, when I get all over here hooked up, you immediately can just pull the slack out, it comes to you. And another nice feature about this is if you were bundling something with it, let's say, I mean, you wouldn't really use it like this, but if you were bundling something with it, it will ratchet itself all the way up. You don't run out of mandrel like you do with one of the old school ones. Quickest to deploy, a little bit bulky, but it's definitely not terrible. All right, next one. The retracts is kind of a little bit of a hybrid between the old and we'll call this the new, in that it has to go up to a release position just like this one and just like this one before it's ready to go. And it's going to kind of fight you. It always wants to come back. This one here, you can kind of, it stays out. This one, kind of a little bit of a fight. So it's almost like you gotta, almost like working with a tape measure, you gotta throw another limb at it. So if you're trying to throw this thing across the trailer, I mean, I guess you almost have to get it out. There. I don't know, not quite as quick, obviously. Unfortunately, this was sold as a 6-10 foot. That is definitely a 6-footer, so like it'd have a hard time just getting across the trailer, much less getting over top of a load. So how useful this is, I'm not real sure. Now, I want to get the slack out of it. It's going to want to come rip-roaring back when I open it up. This one doesn't do that. So this one is, you know, of course I do like the keepers, but it's kind of it. Now the body on this one is a little bit smaller than the body on the U-Line by just a skosh. So I guess that's a little bit of a plus. I'm not a real big fan of these big long tails like this. I prefer the short tails. All right, now the last of the retracting. This is from U-Haul. You can get them kind of anywhere. I bought this one, this set from U-Haul because they're the ones that had the cheapest price. There you go. It has a keeper, but it works kind of like the old school in that you have a mandrel that it's going to load up that mandrel on. Okay, so we hook this, and you can see. But now, if I'm ratcheting this thing, all right, long story short, you're going to get to the point where you have too much around the mandrel and it starts to hit this lock. So these will just ratchet all the way from 1 inch out all the way to 6 foot out. It doesn't matter. They'll just keep on ratcheting. This one, not so much. Now, I've got it in the unlock position like the old school. I'm just going to pull it, and that way the mandrel will, there we go. The mandrel's rolling back. This is policing up the slack for me. Once you get it kind of straight and flush, there you go. So it just kind of puts itself away almost. It's almost more like an old school that puts itself away. Now, of course, we've all seen these, but just real quick, if you're going to work with this, you're going to throw it across. For our demonstration, we're going to do that. And we're going to ratchet, and then you've got all this excess that wants to either get up under the tire or just whip in the wind. And so now you're Velcro strapping that down. Step one is going to be police this up into some sort of manageable coil or something. I usually do mine like that right there. Lay it across the top. Just about takes three hands to do this. There. And that's not even perfect, but you get the idea how these are just so much quicker. So yes, if I have something that I'm not going to mess with for a long time, if I'm hauling a motorcycle to Daytona Beach or something, that's going to be, I'm going to trust this a lot more. But if I'm just going to grab some 2x4s at Home Depot, one of these that operates so much quicker, it's definitely going to be what I reach for. I kind of feel like you need both styles in your get-up. But anyway, I just wanted to kind of show the differences. I think if I had it to do all over again, as much as I hate to say it, because it doesn't have the keepers, it is made in China, I would probably go with this one. It's fast to deploy, it's fast to put away, everything about it works pretty good. Anyway, thanks for watching.